10 miles south of the Superstition Springs Center lies Highland High School, and they will play host to the Williamsfield Blackhawks for the third time this season. That's right, it's the third matchup for these two teams. Hi, everybody. I'm Nate Smith. This is Zach Warhack. Zach, it's a pretty good season for both of these teams. Both of them made it past the first round of the Open, and now they play each other in the 6A bracket.
Yeah, there's not going to be any problem with motivation for either of these two teams. It's one thing to get up for a playoff contest, but another matchup in the 6A Fiesta region. These teams know each other very well. Conference rivals, as you mentioned, the third meeting between these two on the season. Highland got the best of Williamsfield both times, but tight contests in both those matchups.
Williamsfield at a record of 18-9. Head coach is Javon Cole, entering his second year, 28-26 in those 2 years. On the other side, Highland's got Todd Fazio. He has one 6A championship under his belt, looking to get another one. Current record at 17-10. Highland #1 in the region. The 6A Fiesta 9-1 on the year, as opposed to the Williamsfield Blackhawks 6-4. Williamsfield, they were exited in the Open by Boulder Creek, 72-52. However, they upset Liberty. All away games for them. As for Highland, they beat Cactus Shadows, but lost to Ironwood, who was the 8th seed, 72-61. Williamsfield roster, Don Diggs, the freshman, holding the fort down alongside Marquis White, Carson Reed, Caron Perez, the Hamilton transfer, and Patrice Mapuli, the other Hamilton transfer. Tyson McCutcheon, 6'8", meeting Marquis White, and ring the bell. It's going to be a good one here. Stay with us on Bamboo Productions. Caron Perez commanding the court, gives it to Carson Reed, back to Patrice Pooley. Inside looking for Marquis White Jr., and it's out of bounds. Blackhawks will get the ball.
That's something we've seen frequently in these matchups between these two throughout the season. Tight defense, a lot of active hands clogging passing lanes. Highland showing it on this first possession.
And we see Patrice Pooley rocking the black mask for tonight's game. Caron inside, that's Marquis White, and Marquis White doesn't get it the first time. Mapuli gets it in.
Good confidence booster to get the offensive board on an early possession and capitalize for Williamsfield.
Nick Reber in the game for the Highland Hawks, Ty Crandall and Grady Crandall, the brothers, lethal shooters from beyond the arc. Also in is Michael Johnson. And Johnson inside, the layup over White is no good. Adon Diggs will take it up for Williamsfield. Good ball movement from the Blackhawks. Perez gets double guarded. In the corner is Reed. The mid-range jumper is perfect.
Good conversion on the shot from Reed. It's really been a battle for Williamsfield, trying to work the ball inside, starting with it around the perimeter. Highland have been tight in the paint, but the jumper works that time.
Ty Crandall trying to drive on Perez, and that one gets stripped away. Taking it is Perez, and Mapuli back to Reed, and the three-pointer is no good. Whistle and a travel, however, by Carson Reed.
That would have been a really hot start if Williamsfield could have kept that offensive chance going, and just a little bit of a slide handling the ball that time by Reed, and a turnover on their possession, but a 4-0 start for Williamsfield.
Caron Perez, the sophomore, called for the foul. Inbounding is Grady Crandall. Junior standing 6'3". Crandall trying to feed it to Reber. That's Johnson, pardon. Rebound goes to Reed. Gives it to Pooley, quick up the court. High pass for Diggs. Able to corral it. Great ball movement here, and Perez fires the three. No good. Rebound goes to Mike Johnson. Reber guarded by Diggs. Diggs back to Crandall. Crandall trying to drive inside. Good defense from Williamsfield early. And driving is Reber, and off the backboard and in.
Williamsfield playing really fast and aggressive on defense. They're getting to the ball right after the pass is received, but when you can create your own shot like that, it works out on the offensive side.
Patrice Pooley trying to drive inside. The screen from Perez doesn't do much. Digs a little back and forth to Perez, and Perez drives, lays it up and in. He's got his first points on the night. Here's Ty Crandall. This is the sophomore trying to give it inside to Tyson Cutchin to no avail.
Highland look a little bit uncomfortable early on. I think the high-pressure defense from Williamsfield has caused a little bit of that, but they just haven't been able to settle in offensively. 2 turnovers in the first 3 minutes of this first quarter.
Inside, that's Diggs trying to get it off the backboard to no avail. Reber taking it up for the Highland Hawks. Reber drives. The layup is no good, and Cutchin with the rebound. Back to Crandall. That's Grady. To Reber, trying to drive inside. That one gets tipped. Grady able to corral it, though. Good defense by Pooley on the outside. Shot clock winding down. Inside to Grady Crandall. Crandall gets Pooley jumping, and Highland trying to nab at that lead.
Highland are having to earn every point offensively on their possessions. They're being tested, put to the physical brink by Williamsfield.
Highland, the number 1 seed, ousted by Ironwood. A little bit of back and forth between Pooley and Diggs, and he lays it up right in is Curone Perez.
When you have these conference matchups that bleed into the playoffs, it makes things very difficult because both teams have learned a lot about each other.
And Reber wide open from the free throw line. Taking it now is Perez to Pooley. Inside to Markey White Jr. White back to Pooley. That's no good, and rebound goes to Highland. Ty Crandall taking it up. Good moves from Crandall. He's guarded by Pooley, and we have a foul.
Yeah, just a push off there from Crandall is what the call was. But defensively, I think Highland have started to adjust and learn a few things. Watch Williamsfield on this possession. Every time they've set up 4 across the perimeter, and they just look to get it to the inside to Markey White on a nice little skip pass or something fast. This time around, they switch it up and put 2 on the blocks.
Kyle Grandall wide open in the corner. That's Curone Perez for 3.
You talk about adjustments. Williamsfield have made the same set offensively their first, 10 possessions of this game. That time they switch it up. Off-ball movement opens things.
Wide open is Bogard. He got Markey White jumping for joy. Passes it inside to Johnson, and Johnson picks up the foul. Markey White Jr. picks up his first. And early on, Highland is on the ropes.
I think there's a lot of time left, and I don't think anything is set in stone yet. Johnson, 83% from the charity stripe, and he had 22 in the first meeting against Williamsfield. So if he has the opportunity to get hot, he'll do it. I know you talked about the Crandalls shooting from beyond the arc in the open and prior to the game. He put up 14 in the first meeting against these two. 6 for 14 from beyond the arc.
Pooley to Markey White, trying to get it inside to Diggs. It's a 4-on-4. Johnson with a give to Reber, back to Crandall. Bogart inside, calling for it. He gets it anyways. Pooley guarding him. Trying to drive inside the paint, and that one is no good. The tip in is no good. Rebound goes to Cutchin, no good. The second chance to no avail. Pooley taking it up for Williamsfield. Diggs gives it to Pooley, thought about the three, drives into the paint, gives it to Marky White Jr., fires it off the backboard and in.
That's a tough finish, a lot of contested airspace, if you will, and just a finish by Marky White.
Bogart gives it to Reber. Nearly mishandles it. He's guarded by Perez. The spin move on Perez to no avail. Wide open is Grady Crandall in the corner. Cash it in.
I get confused with all the brothers here at Highland. You have the Crandalls in basketball, the Collimores in football, and you say one of the Collimores' name in cash when he knocks that three down.
It's just by coincidence. 13-11 our score for the first break in the first quarter. Going to the open bracket, Perry and Ironwood certainly one to look out for, especially when Koa Pete is out with an injury.
Yeah, that's tough, but we watched that Perry team against Brophy, and they didn't really need Koa Pete in that game. They had a lot done with Bruce Branch and others on the offensive side, but you know, Koa Pete is such a pivotal spot of that team where he's the focal point, right? They like to play around him. He can have an off game every once in a while, but you still rely on your best player, and that's a tough loss.
Sticking with that same side of the bracket, O'Connor and Bash are another game to watch out for. In fact, all the open matchups are one to watch out for. Millennium and Notre Dame Prep and Boulder Creek and Sunny Slope, who right now I think Sunny Slope has some odds in favor of them.
Yeah, I mean, me and you have both talked about it with the injury to Perry, who could kind of step up and challenge them for the four-peat. I like Sunny Slope, you like Millennium. They'll have the opportunity to meet each other in 2 weeks if they both win tomorrow, or tonight, rather.
And the winner of this one plays either Brophy or West Point. Long pass of Don Diggs in the corner, thought about the three, thinks about the mid-range, and he's got it.
Just a really talented freshman, and that's dangerous for the 6A Fiesta region. They're going to have to see him for another 3 years.
Matter of fact, the entire Williamsfield roster is very young. Only one senior, Jack Sanguini. Spin move, Reber inside, beautiful.
Wow, that's a great finish. Talk about guys who can take over the game with youth. Just a sophomore getting it done on the inside.
Less than 30 on the game clock. Williamsfield with a 2-point lead. Reed, the long shot from Perez is no good. It hits the top of the backboard. They immediately blow it dead. That stops the clock, and Highland has some time to kind of recuperate a little.
Yeah, I think they're going to settle in and draw something up for the final 15 and kill the whole clock with an opportunity.
Ty Crandall in the game. Michael Johnson also in the game, and look out, beautiful pass to Johnson. He cashes a three. Long heave for Perez. It's off the top of the backboard, and Highland has a 1-point lead entering the second quarter. However, we still got plenty of basketball, so stay with us on Bamboo Productions. A lot of great matchups in this 6A bracket. We got Brophy and West Point, Mesa and the Pioneers coming off of upsets. Mesa beating Tucson, and the Pioneers beating the third seed, Higley, with Gavin and Donovan Dabney.
Yeah, I think it's always fun to see the upsets that can happen. You know, seeding doesn't matter. These teams all have a lot of heart and the will to compete, and you see every single year high seeds knocking down a low seed. When you get it to the high school level all the way to March Madness and the NCAA, a lot of good matchups to highlight here in these quarterfinals. I really like that Liberty-Hamilton one.
That Liberty-Hamilton one's going to be a barn burner, especially after Liberty's early exit against Williamsfield. Bringing you back to the action. Reber trying to drive inside. That one gets tipped away and taken back the other way. Pooley going to give it to Carone. And in the corner, that's number 20, Henry Roden. Three-pointer off the mark. Mike Johnson still in the game. He hit the three-pointer to take the lead at the end of the first quarter. Gives it to Talon Miller to Reber. Johnson guarded by Perez. And the long pass to Ty Crandall. He lets it fly in the same spot, and he hits it.
He loves it over there. 41% from three, and a lot of them come from the corner just like that.
New faces for Williamsfield. Adam Medina in the game, sophomore forward, standing 6'4".
Yeah, he's really good when it comes to creating diversion with off-ball movement, always calling, boxing out on boards. Really like his style of play.
Pooley also in the game, still in. Adon Diggs gets Johnson jumping. The mid-range shot is no good. Rebound goes to Highland. Trying to get on a bit of a run. Reber inside. That's Talon Miller.
Well, Highland have gotten going, and they're staying up-tempo on the offensive side. In transition, good finish by Miller.
Huge momentum swing in favor of the Hawks. Adon Diggs thought about the three, no good. He was guarded tightly by Kyle Bogard. He remains in the game. Gives it to Roden. To Perez, trying to drive inside on Bogard, and that one gets yanked away. We have a whistle and a foul, or out of bounds rather. Patrice Pooley will inbound for Williamsfield.
A tough spot to get to, but Perez did a really good job towing the baseline to fight, split the double team on the inside, and draw the foul. Able to maintain possession with 6:13 left in the second.
Gives it to Diggs, back out to Marky White. He's back in the game. Perez gives it to Pooley. Pooley drives. The floater is no good off the backboard. Rebound goes to Tyson Cutchin. Grady Crandall to take it up for Highland. Gives it to Brother, launching from downtown. It's no good. Rebound goes to Cutchin. And that one gets stripped away. Beautiful defense from Pooley. Back to White. He's on a drive, and that's a travel. And you can see that from a mile away.
Yeah, just went down with the ball after going up, but talk about the confidence from Ty Crandall. Launched that one up with some range. It was a heat check after making that corner three, trying to keep the momentum flowing.
Grady Crandall guarded by Carson Reed. Great Crandall, the spin move, and then the layup is good.
Scoop and score. He's got 7.
Patrice Pooley trying to figure out what to do with the ball. Reed from 3, it's no good. Off the back of the iron, no good. Pooley gets the rebound, and that one gets stripped away by Collimore. And there you go, I said Collimore.
Crandall just came from behind, snuck up, and took it straight away. Good steal there on the defensive side of the ball.
Ty Crandall guarded by Perez, gives it to his brother. He fires from 3, cash it in. And Highland on a bit of a run.
Yeah, it warrants a timeout. They've really dominated this second quarter. Williamsfield have not scored a point yet. Highland have put 10 on the board.
Highland remains with the same lineup they had to go on the run. Williamsfield, Marky White still in the game. Adon Diggs also. Henry Roden back in. Carson Reed as well. And Caron Perez also back. Roden gives it to Perez. High pass to Perez. Gives it to Reed, back to Roden. Trying to get it inside. That one gets swatted down by Tyson Cutchin.
Well, Highland have it figured out on the defensive side of the half court, certainly. At this point, they're kind of extending out on the perimeter where a lot of those passes are going and also clogging the interior.
Marky White trying to drive it, gives it to Adon Diggs. He gets double guarded. Reed to Diggs, back to Perez. 6 on the shot clock. They got to make a move. Perez gives it inside to Marky White Jr., and he dribbles it in. The first points for Williamsfield in the second quarter.
Well, and they needed it.
Roden guarded Crandall. Reber, the jumper is no good. Diggs with the rebound. Some momentum, and look out. Trying to get it to Marky White Jr. was Caron Perez, but to no avail. A missed opportunity.
A little too quick in the fast break. Maybe an extra pass too many. I would have liked to seen Perez go up for the shot, maybe draw some contact.
Brother to brother, that's Crandall to Crandall. Ty driving into the basket. It's no good. Rebound goes to Williamsfield. Taking it up is Adon Diggs. Diggs to Perez, trying to shake and bake, and a whistle and a travel.
Yeah, it's the second one that Williamsfield have been called for, kind of when they're working in transition. They swing it down sort of towards that wing and corner area, and then just an extra step too many after receiving the pass from Perez.
Highland student section, vocal as always. Chanting, "You can't do that," a classic chant amongst student sections.
A lot of physicality on that screen set, and Javon Cole wanted a foul. I don't blame him.
Cutchin gives it to Ty Crandall. He's guarded by Pooley. Bogart to Crandall. He's guarded by Diggs. That's a good matchup right there. Pooley tries to strip it away, and a deep three, and it's no good, off the front of the iron, and Bogart finishes.
It feels like a first half dagger to give up that offensive rebound to Bogart, and then the two to follow with only 2:30 left in the first half.
Can Williamsfield get something going before the end of the first half? Reed to Pooley. He gives it to Roden. Inside to Diggs. And it's going to be Williamsfield basketball. Student section didn't agree with that one. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it's tough. It looks like Diggs could have lost it. Well, no, I think they had the right call. It looked like Tyson Cutchin kind of punched it out of bounds at the end.
Pooley to rebound. That one gets knocked away.
And that time they get Diggs with the touch out of bounds.
Good defense from Highland. They figured it out. Reber been the man to take it up for Highland. Talon Miller checks in for Highland. Marky White guarding Reber. And in the corner is Johnson, off the iron, no good. A rebound goes to Ja'Kai Reed. A new face for Williamsfield. Pooley gives it to Roden. Back to Pooley. And Marky White Jr. in the corner. That one is off. And Ja'Kai, whistle and a foul. And Reed is headed to the line.
It's a good job from Reed to dig up the offensive rebound and able to draw the contact and have an opportunity from the free throw line. It just seems kind of like Williamsfield are rushing, looking for the same thing in their possessions, and if an open shot isn't there, then they're kind of having an uphill battle, but good job executing on the first free throw from Reed.
Marky White headed to the bench, and the lonesome senior, Jack Sanguini, checks in. Reed makes the second one.
Just something to keep an eye on. Kyle Bogart just headed to the locker room with the training staff, so not entirely sure what went wrong with him, but he's being treated right now.
Reber trying to drive inside. Gives it to Johnson. The jumper. No, he fakes the jumper, and that one is just a beautiful move from Johnson.
Yeah, very smooth, able to adjust and create an opportunity.
Hit by a smooth criminal. Jack Sanguini gives it to Roden, gives it to Pooley. Trying to feed it inside. That one is an errant pass, and it gets intercepted easily by Cutchin. Johnson gives it to Reber. Back to Johnson. Cole Miller. No good. Diggs with the rebound for Williamsfield. Less than a minute remaining in the first half.
Williamsfield need to find something on these last couple possessions if they get to.
Pooley gives it to Diggs. Inside, Sanguini in the corner. Didn't think about it. Another errant pass, and that's going to go Highland's way again.
Well, now they have a chance to double up on possessions here with 35 left.
35.3.
I don't think they'll be able to do it. I think that shot clock resets off the inbound, so they'll be able to bleed this out and keep it for the entirety if they want to.
I think Highland's going to score right before the clock hits 0. Johnson and Diggs. Cutchin gives it to Crandall. Crandall thinking about the downtown shot. Never mind, Crandall drives, and oh my, divine intervention. And another rejection, but there's a foul. 1.3 on the game clock. Pooley picks up the foul. And Tyson Cutchin is headed to the line.
It's a good battle and no quit from the Williamsfield defense, but just a little bit too much contact on the inside puts Cutchin to the line.
2 harsh denials. The second one was harsher because it had contact. And Cutchin hits the first one. Good look at this replay. Bam, right there. Cutchin hits both of them. The long ball, and it falls way short. Highland takes a 32-19 lead. Still a second half to go. And sir, you had a Pokemon card pack you wanted to open?
I think we're going to be bleeding into that possibly. A 32-19 lead for Highland after the first half, and they hold Williamsfield to just 4 points in that second quarter, dominating defensively. Lots of excitement and action in the game, but a little bit more excitement now, Nate. I know in the last game, pre-game, I opened one of my Pokemon packs, and we'll do that again live on air here. We have a Paldean Fates pack, and I know you're not super into Pokemon, but it's just my lesson to all you viewers at home. You're never too old to enjoy anything. Don't care what anyone thinks of you. People think I'm a nerd. I don't care. I love me some Pokemon. So we're going to rip this Paldean Fates pack live on air. We're looking for that Bubble Mew or the Charizard. You know what I'm talking about?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, that's all right. We're going to flip one from the back because that makes the last card in the pack the big hitter. So you have your Energy, Ghastly. I'm trying to see everything that's going on. I can't tell the cards too well, but I'll let you know if we get something big towards the end of this pack. We're going to run into our first reverse holo here pretty soon, and that's where the hits would come if we get them. One more to go. Oh, a whole lot of nothing out of this one. We get the Fortress EX. Still looks cool. Nice and shiny for you guys, but not a big one at home. And while the pack played defense against me, Williamsfield having a lot played against them from Highland as well in this one.
The fact that you turned that into a segue is absolutely amazing. You're doing great. You're doing great, sir.
I appreciate it out of you. We got a lot of playoff action coming here in the state of Arizona, and there's a lot of good games being played tonight.
Yeah, especially. We still got a second half to go. Of course, Highland with a 32-19 lead against Williamsfield, who, as we know, beat Liberty in the first round of the Open. However, it's not looking good for Williamsfield. I know I said Highland was on the ropes in the first quarter. Now, Highland's been punching and throwing, and them punches are haymakers.
There's a lot of basketball to be played, right? Halftime adjustments are such a huge part of both these teams' game. I think Williamsfield offensively just need to get a little bit more comfortable. They're just trying the same thing over and over and over again, and it's to no avail. They need to be able to work the inside. They're just kind of working around the perimeter right now, and they have no access to easy shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And they also been trying to, they've been slinging the rock quite a bit. They just haven't gotten inside the paint really at all. And the three-pointers, they haven't been falling either.
Yeah, there's nothing too high percentage from any of the looks. I know we've seen Diggs throwing them up from beyond the arc, but if you're just hoping that a contested shot goes in, that's not a good recipe offensively. Highland, on the flip side of things, they're moving it very well. They're attacking the paint. Their guards are driving, and that creates opportunity because the double and the slide comes in, and then you have a kick out in some of those big shots that we've seen from Crandall. Crandall,
Mike Johnson, too. I mean, every Highland Hawks starter has had a point in this game.
Well, and those have been the guys who took over the first two games. I mentioned 22-18 from a few of those guys in the first two meetings between these teams. They both finished in close games. There was a 7-point difference between the two games. There was a 4-point finish and a 3-point finish, both in favor of Highland. I expect it to get tighter here in the second half and Williamsfield to wake up a little bit, but I just don't know if they've dug themselves too big of a hole.
Well, we'll see at the start of the second half. Both teams exiting the locker room. We just gotta see it play out.
2.5 left on the clock, and we'll be right back for all that on Bamboo Productions. Thank you all for joining us for this halftime segment.
Williamsfield only scoring 4 points in the second quarter, trying to rebound after a bad quarter.
It's tough to do, but I think when you get the time in the locker room to sort of talk things over, it gives you an opportunity to breathe a little bit more life into the team, but it's going to be tough because Highland, number one, playing at home. They're 10-2 at home on the season, and they're playing loose right now, too. Like, comfortable basketball is good basketball.
Michael Johnson, Ty Crandall, Nick Reber, Grady Crandall, and Tyson Cutchin. That's been the main five for Highland. Carson Reed, Marky White Jr., Patrice Pooley, Caron Perez, and Adon Diggs, the main five for Williamsfield. Perez looking for White in the paint. He's not open. Gives it to Reed. Gives it to Perez. Perez trying to drive on Crandall. There's some contact. No foul, however. And the three ball from Diggs is no good off the rim. Marky White Jr. cannot get the rebound. Grady Crandall picks it up for Highland.
That's kind of what I was talking about. Highland's defense is just so stiff, and they're forcing bad shots late in the clock.
Caron Perez been playing intense defense all night. Ty Crandall in the game. Grady Crandall trying to split the defense on Perez. Crandall, the fadeaway, no good, off the rim. Marky White Jr. to take it for Williamsfield. Marky White, and there's Carson Reed in the corner. Ooh, he had a look. Takes it anyways. Reed for three, cashed it in.
That's a big connection from Reed. He took the extra step, had patience, and knocked it down.
Inside. That's Reber. It's no good. Marky White Jr. gives it to Diggs, and that one gets intercepted by Reber. Reber with a little shake and bake, and tied for three. Perez gives it to Carson Reed. He lets it fly. No good. Rebound goes to Ty Crandall.
And up and down we go. Tempo from both sides.
Crandall the drive. The layup is no good. Marky White Jr. with the rebound. Williamsfield with some pace. Look out. That's Perez, the three, and it's an air ball. Nothing on that one. Crandall the screen, and we have a foul. No, they're going to call timeout. Calling timeout is Todd Fazio. An early timeout for Highland.
You know, it's been good looks from Williamsfield on the offensive side of things, and it's all come in transition. I think that Fazio wants to slow things down a little bit, settle his guys into this second half after seeing what the pace is going to be. But for Williamsfield, I think that's the key to success, to be honest. Right off the rebound, break out, try and get up court in numbers, and create a shot in transition.
Three from Crandall. The last basket for Highland.
Well, and they do the same thing with working in transitions. Just only 6 seconds taken off of the shot clock when Crandall found nylon with that. And they get the ball in the half court now. We'll see what they drew up here during the timeout.
Crandall the drive, the layup is no good. Kind of forced it off the backboard, and Perez, there's a tumble for it. Perez looked like he had the ball, but they're going to say the possession arrow goes to Highland.
Yeah, we're behind the scorer's table, but I can see that little red dot right now, and it's pointing towards the Highland side, so it'll switch over, but they keep it this time around.
Cutchin gives it to Crandall, trying to look for somebody inside. He's guarded by Carson Reed. Crandall gives it to Reber. He puts up the three, and it's good.
You know, Grady Crandall set that play up with the previous possession. He pulled off that turnaround fadeaway jumper. That time gave the same look, passed it off, and now we're going up and down the floor.
Pooley answers back with a three. Some three big booms on the side of Williamsfield. Reber inside, trying to get the block was Patrice Pooley, and Nick Reber said, it doesn't matter, I'm still going to score. Cutchin on Pooley. inside to Marky White, and that gets intercepted. Pardon, that was headed for Reed. The jump step, and oh my, a hard denial twice from Reed and Diggs. A reset in pace, and Cutchin trying to drive on Diggs, and Cutchin finishes.
That's so hard for Williamsfield. You build so much momentum with 2 blocks. You can't get possession after them. And then Highland end up with the basket.
Perez in the corner. He's guarded by Grady Crandall. The long pass to Reed to Pooley from 3. It's off the front of the iron. No good. And Crandall will wrestle for it. The ball, they're going to say it goes to Williamsfield.
Well, we know the possession errors with them that time. We've had 2 possession errors in the past minute and a half.
Crandall, that's Ty Crandall with a bandage on his right arm. Right forearm. Inbounding is Henry Roden. Diggs, the jump ball, he got him, and Diggs will fire a 3, cash it in.
That'll work. Really want to get the freshman going, knocking down the 3 will boost some confidence.
And we have dueling student sections, Williamsfield and Highland, both repping red. Oh, get your popcorn ready.
Both sides lobbing chants back and forth at each other. The environment doesn't get better than that.
Highland has the laugh, though. They have 14 on Williamsfield. If they can get a Don Diggs going, this can be interesting.
Well, and they also have the 2-0 regular season record to hang over the top of them right now as well.
I mean, I don't know, man. The playoff one means more.
And it's even sweeter when it's a rival. Well, here comes the full court press out of Javon Cole early on in the 3rd.
Crandall trying to inbound it. He inbounds it to his brother. Rodin, that one gets stripped. Oh, gets doubled. And Perez, that one gets stripped away. Look out. Raise the roof for a Don Diggs. Timeout Highland. And that's a trendsetter.
I thought Diggs was going to hammer it home. He just goes with the nonchalant 2-hander, secures the bucket, cuts the lead to 12.
Dropping the axe politely. And timeout Highland. And their student section is still letting them hear it.
Well, and they're going to have to face pressure for the next 12 minutes of game time, right? We're halfway through the 3rd right now. But if Javon Cole has his team pressing this early, you can anticipate that they're going to do it and try and just empty the gas tank for the entirety of the game. Earn yourself an opportunity at a run to climb back into it.
Another full court press look. Jack Sanguini in the game for Williamsfield. Henry Roden still in.
I don't think this defense is going to stop for the rest of the game. Every time that Williamsfield convert on a bucket, they're going to be sitting with the full court press, and now the officials making sure there's no blood coming off of Crandall.
Oh, yeah, he's dribbling blood on his left forearm.
Well, they got him on both of them, and Williamsfield trying to get him off the court, but he'll try and get the quick fix.
Quick fix indeed, and he's back on the court. Grady Crandall going to inbound it to Max Reber. And Highland will finally have an opportunity to breathe on offense. Henry Roden trying to guard Max Reber. Nick Reber lays it up and in for Highland. Perez gives to Roden to Sanguini. Oh my, a denial from Grady Crandall.
That's just what the defense has been from Highland, right? They close out so quickly after any pass.
How many SWAT team calls can we get in one night?
It's been 3 in this half alone.
Back and forth between Perez and Roden. Gives it to Diggs. He had the dunk shortly before, and that one is no good. The window was too tight. He was looking for Reed. Reber driving, gives it to Crandall. He's got a look, takes it, cash it in.
Everything working for Highland right now. They slow down a little bit, and then they extend the lead back to 17.
We'll whistle.
Well, and it's still something to do with Ty Crandall. The officials pulled him off the court on their own, and they're trying to get him fixed up with whatever's going on.
Has to deal with that left arm still bleeding.
He's going to look like a mummy here pretty soon. He's got one on the right forearm, and he's getting taped up on the left bicep forearm area as well.
Pooley back in the game for Williams Field. He's guarded by Johnson. Reed, and that one gets swatted away by Kyle Bogart.
There's just not enough off-ball movement from Williams Field. It's the same look to the inside every time, and Highland have been all over it.
Reber drives, and there's a whistle and a foul. Reber hits the deck. Roden will pick up the foul. Perez subs back in. Carson Reed also back in. That one poked away by Diggs. Good defense there, getting that all-ball contact.
Yeah. I mean, with Ty Crandall off the floor, I watch out for Nick Reber here. He has so many tools in his belt to be able to penetrate, kick, take the shot, and look at him.
Reber mishandles it, hits the wall pretty hard. Williams Field has some numbers. Perez inside to Reed. The short range is knocked away by Kyle Bogart. He had a look with Patrice Pooley in the corner. However, that got knocked away. Driving is Crandall, and Crandall lays it up and in. Diggs, the long pass to Perez in the corner. No good off the iron, no good rebound. Goes to Reber.
And that's the best look that Williams Field have had on offense, other than when Diggs knocked one down earlier. But it's few and far between.
Reber guarded by Reed. Crandall takes the corner look. It's off the front of the iron, no good. And Crandall just steals it anyways. Jose Alvarado S. Look out. Mike Johnson with the layup.
Well, that's the second steal tonight for Grady Crandall, and make it 3.
Look out. Crandall trying to go airborne, and there's a foul. That's on Patrice Pooley.
Crandall's defense has been stellar. We've talked about how he's picked the pocket twice from behind, and that time it's just all physicality.
Grady Crandall has been the man tonight. $16 for the older Crandall brother.
And Ty now back into the game, so he's got whatever he was dealing with sorted out from the training staff.
Ja'Kai Reed subs in for Carson Reed. Here Williamsville need to knock down a couple of threes. Diggs gives it to Medina. Back to Diggs. Trying to get it inside to Marky White Jr., and Crandall nearly takes that one away. Look out, three-pointer on the way from Reed. That one is no good off the iron. Marky White gets the rebound. He puts it up off the backboard, no good. Kyle Bogart with the rebound.
The shots just are not falling for Williamsfield, and on the flip side, it feels like everything is going right for Highland.
Highland trying to spit the nail in the coffin. Nick Reber also has been on fire. 10 on the shot clock, 20 left on the game clock. Reber guarded by Medina. Reber takes it inside. Check that. Crandall for three. Cash it in.
And there goes the roof.
Ty Crandall may have just put the nail in the coffin. Diggs fires a three. It's no good. And Highland has a 26-point lead. 1 quarter to go. Stay with us on Bamboo Productions. This goes to show you that Highland deserves the #1 seed in the 6A bracket.
Yeah, they're playing incredibly well right now, and they're doing it in every phase of the game, defensively, offensively, but it's the little things, right? The fundamentals that end up taking over and become so magnified in playoff games. The rebounding and the turnover battle has all been won by Highland tonight.
What more can Highland do to clinch a game with either Brophy or West Point? West Point, of course, had one of their games forfeited. Nick Reber having one of his best nights. Grady Collimore, Grady Crandall as well. And look out, Crandall lets it fly again. He's been automatic.
He is 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, and he is just lighting it up.
12 for Crandall. Perez, the floater, no good. And Reed gets it anyways. The short shot is no good, and hustle rebound from Kyle Bogart gives it to Grady Crandall. And look out, from downtown, no good. Off the side of the iron.
He's smiling while backpedaling to the defensive side, and there's murmurs from everybody in the crowd. Could you imagine, though?
Would have raised the roof off of the building. Marky White, that stripped away from Marky White. That's Grady Crandall.
And that's steal number 4. I mean, he's playing just picture-perfect basketball.
A thief in the night. And the classic Start the Buses chant has started. Crandall gives it to his brother. Thought about the three in the corner. The mid-range on Perez is no good. Rebound, Kyle Bogart, and a whistle and a foul. And oh my, Kyle Bogart down on the floor. He's grasping that left ankle.
And that's not good to see. He's such a big part of this defense, just clogging the interior. Has the wingspan gone? Oh, yeah. Ooh, man, that's just so unfortunate and something that's almost unavoidable. He just steps on top of Ja'Kai Reed, and you saw the ankle just give out.
Kyle being attended to now by the Highland training staff. Not putting any pressure, and Kyle gets up. Good to see him get up.
Well, that's good. You just hope for the best there with just an ankle sprain and nothing more. And for him to be able to kind of walk off, limp off, that's kind of the best sight to see. That's always just such a scary play underneath the basket, and it's nothing malicious. It just happens.
Talon Miller at the line for Highland. Hits the second one, though. Medina giving it to Perez. Back to Medina. Long pass to Diggs over his head. Hits the barricade. Highland basketball.
And a 30-point lead. I'm not sure how eager Highland are to get shots off early in the clock at this point.
Highland at this rate may sub in their twos. Perez guarding Reber. They run the switch, very physical screen. Reber trying to drive on Medina. The step back is no good off the back of the iron. Gives it to Crandall. Oh, he thought about the downtown shot. Crandall for three. That's no good. Grady with the three. Rebound goes to Diggs and Williamsfield. Perez for three. Cash it in. Caron Perez. Cuts the lead to 27.
Yep, and the fight lives on for Williamsfield, but plenty more than an uphill battle here.
Good defense from Perez. Inside trying to... Oh, gets Crandall jumping. That's Patrice Pooley. An ugly bounce off the iron. Crandall up the floor.
And as you mentioned a couple possessions ago,
ugly pass. Marquis White takes it inside, and a whistle and a foul. That foul on Crandall.
It's a good fight to earn that whistle. Able to go for the three-point play, and now the brothers come off the floor. As we mentioned earlier, that the twos may start flooding in, and I think it's more so on the forefront of your mind if you're Highland after seeing Kyle Bogart go down. You don't want to lose anybody else headed into the next round.
Cole Wadsworth in the game, junior for Highland. Miller stays in. Reber also stays in. Travin Morrell also in the game. Miller lets it fly from deep.
Doesn't matter if you're starting, coming off the bench, in the student section, everyone for Highland is knocking them down tonight.
Everybody letting it fly here tonight on the side of Highland. And on the side of Williamsfield as well, as Pooley lets it fly from deep. Running clock into effect, ticking down towards the final 3 minutes of the game. And a change of the lines from Williamsfield to Kai Reed, Henry Roden, Jack Sanguini, Colton Gavern on the side of Highland also checks in. Reed from the corner, no good off the iron. Tips it in favor of Williamsfield. Sanguini thought about the deep three. Lets it fly from deep. Cash it in.
Good looks off the bench from Williamsfield.
A morality booster for the team. Inside, it's good. Trevin Merrill. And another deep three, no good. Off the iron.
Well, there's no stop with only 2:20 left. These two benches still fight and go up and down the floor.
Trying to get it inside to Walker Stum. Stum hits the floor. And Roden will give it to Preston Fowler. Sanguini lets it fly. Cash it in.
That's a feel-good shot from the senior. That'll probably be the last one he sees fall at Williamsfield, but a good ending.
The lone senior on the roster may finish his high school career with a basket. A three-pointer.
From deep, too. I think you call that a bucket.
Bucket. Cash. Or if you were an Al McCoy fan, you'd say Shazam. Reed gives it to Sanguini. He lets it fly from three again. That one off the rim, no good.
He wanted more.
Stum driving on Fowler and nearly swats that one away. Walker Stum gets a bucket. And another three. They're letting it fly late.
Why not? I mean, this is the most intensity we've seen since the first half.
Less than a minute to go in the game. Highland with a rout of Williamsfield. What a bucket from Walker Stum.
And the bench goes wild. That's the best thing, the camaraderie. All these guys get up for each other.
And Walker Stum, look out. Oh, he thought about the dunk, but he lays it up and in anyways. And Sanguini lets it fly.
From the same spot. Well, now with 14 seconds ticking down, we know that he'll end his Williamsfield career with a three.
If you were to play 2K and you know how they have the hot and cold charts, it's red in that area for him. Wadsworth will take it out. And Highland will advance in the 6A bracket. Stay tuned for postgame on Bamboo Productions. To put it bluntly, plain and simple, Highland is legit. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I think you anticipate it coming into this game, right? They've been playing good basketball throughout the late stretch of the season, and they continue to produce, right? They know this Williamsfield team really well after seeing them twice already in the 6A Fiesta, and the game plan that they drew up, it worked to perfection.
On the side of Williamsfield, the game plan that they drew up, not so much. I mean, the full court press was certainly an interesting look. It worked for about one or two drives, but after that, Highland immediately said, hey, we got to get back to playing our brand of basketball. and they just dominated 71-41.
Yeah, it was just a struggle all the way around for Williams Field to get anything going offensively, really. Highland were just clogging passing lanes. They had a lot of length with the wingspan on the inside, and that's where you talk about the injury to Kyle Bogart. It's going to be a tough one if that's anything more than an ankle sprain for the future, because he really dominates and shines defensively in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to get back to that clogging up the passing lanes. Even if Williamsfield did have a passing lane, and I saw this a lot when passing to Adon Diggs, they were over his head. He couldn't get him. Even with his bounce, he still couldn't get to him.
Yeah, it was just a challenge because nothing was open, right? They were working the perimeter all the way around the three-point line and then just looking for a skip pass to get through. It's a long way from wing to wing to throw that pass with 4, 5, 6 hands in the way.
Yeah, but regardless, Williamsfield, they played great all season. Their first year in 6A, the 6A Fiesta region. Last year was in 5A with Higley and all those other 5A teams as well. They beat Liberty. Pretty good run for a 6A team.
You can't take anything away from them either, because coming into this game, they were 6-1 in their last 7. All they were doing was winning basketball games, and you just run into the buzzsaw that's the 1 seed as Grady Crandall is breakdancing on the court in celebration for Highland.
Just a bunch of student athletes having fun, man. I'm Nate Smith. That's Zach Warhack, and signing off for now on Bamboo Productions. We'll see you next time.
Peace.